Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Coffee here, and today we're doing a whip and chat. Whip stands for work in progress, so get out whatever that is for you. Work along with me as I tell you some stories from the coffee house shenanigans. Now, I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Sorry, this whip and chat is probably going to go up. If you're watching this on the day that I put it up, it's late. I apologize. If you're watching this on any other day, welcome. It has been a few days. Y'all, I am going through it. Lord have mercy. First things first, I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your week. It was a crazily chaotic week here at the coffee house. So this weekend, we're just going to get right into it. Y'all already know how we do steak and potatoes. So this weekend, we had a couple of things going on. First, we celebrated my 1-year partner anniversary with Twitch. Being partner just means like being verified on the app. So like when you go on Instagram or Facebook and you see people with the check mark next to their name, that's what that means. So I've been partnered with Twitch for a year now, and I don't like celebrating myself. So I decided to do a charity event. And not only did we crush the goal that I had set out of the water once, but we doubled our initial goal. And so I was super proud, and especially since the organization raised like $1 million+ for the gamers outreach. So to everyone in attendance of that stream, I really, really appreciate it. We're having a wonderful time over on Twitch. And if you have not caught me on Twitch, please consider doing so, especially if you want more live content from me. I do a lot of art, a lot of gameplay. We play a lot of the game Palia, and I play like Fae Farm and Sims 4 randomly here and there. We also do some crafting. Not a lot of crafting happens over there, I can tell you that right now. We don't do a whole lot of crafting over there, but it is still a good time. And so like we do show crafts that other people have done by doing like whip parades and stuff over there. So we have a really good time. So if you have not found me over on Twitch, I go by Caffeinated Doodler over on Twitch. There's always a link in the description box of Twitch. It's a free platform. You only have to pay if you don't want to watch ads on my stream. That's pretty much everybody's stream that's on Twitch. So, and you get a free Prime sub if you decide to go over there. So small plug on that. But we had a wonderful time. We streamed for 13 hours. Imagine 13 hours with Miss Coffee. Lord have mercy. Things get crazy over there. Anyways, so on top of that, Maggie came to me last week and she's like, Mom, there's this thing at school. Can I go? Why is it that when kids ask to go places, they don't tell you where this place is? They're just like, it's a place in the universe. Can I go? Hello, can you tell me where it is? And she's like, oh, I don't know. You don't know where you're going? Then why are you even asking me, can you go? She's like, because I really want to go, Mom. Can I please? And I'm like, Maggie, I can't send you somewhere where I don't know where you're going. So she goes, I'll have my teacher message you. And I was like, okay. So her teacher messages me and is like, hey, we're having a little get together at the park. We were wondering if Maggie could join us. And me thinking nothing of it, I was like, of course she can. Why wouldn't she? Like, she's a feral child. She loves being outside. What I didn't realize, or I should have probably asked before saying yes, was like, you know, what time and everything. So it happened the same day as my 1-year anniversary on Twitch. So I was like, uh-oh. Mr. Coffee's like, what? And I was like, Maggie has a thing that I agreed to let her go to, but I can't take her. He's like, oh, well, I can take her. I have a car. And I was like, yeah, but it's 9 a.m. in the morning that you have to drop her off. And he's like, wait, what? Look, he offered, okay? He offered. If you don't know about anything else about the coffee house, just know on Saturdays and Sundays, no one is up in this house until like 11 o'clock, okay? No one. We are goblins. We sleep all day. We do not care. So I'm like, we sleep in on Saturdays, where most families get up at like 8 a.m. or some crap. Not my family. We sleep until 11. Don't bother us until then. Lord have mercy. So he had to get up early on Saturday to take Maggie to her little event. And as that's happening, Orion was talking with one of his little friends that rides the bus with him. His mom actually is the bus driver. And he asked could his little friend come stay over. And I'm like, you got to ask your dad, dude, because that's, again, the same day as my anniversary. So I'm going to be streaming that day. And he's like, oh, I'll just ask Dad. So he asked his dad, and Mr. Coffee comes to me. He goes, what is happening? What is up with these kids getting busy all of a sudden? I'm like, I don't know. And he goes, how do you feel about it? I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to be streaming. I'm not the one that's going to have to deal with it. I'm like, we could easily just order some pizzas, let them veg out in front of the TV, and call it a night. They can watch a movie, set them up with a movie, and let them watch a movie. So we did. They had a great time. They made a huge mess and had fun, but what matters is that they had fun. So Orion had his first sleepover here at this place. He's had sleepovers before, but I think this is the first time he's had like one of his friends sleep over here. And so, of course, Maggie joined them because, we're not going to exclude Maggie. For those wondering, because I did get asked quite a few times how Maggie's doing. Maggie is doing fine. After that parent-teacher conference, we did sit her down and explain to her that we need her to work a little bit harder with her reading and stuff, because she's been slacking here when it comes to coming home and immediately going outside before we can ask her to read. And she does this on purpose because she knows later in the evening we both get super busy with whatever we have to do. So she'll purposely go outside as soon as she gets home from school. And then by the time it's time for her reading time, I'm typically busy streaming, and Mr. Coffee's probably in the middle of a game of D&D or something. And so everybody's just kind of like, we'll read tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and she does the same thing. And I'm like, we need you to get better at actually reading when you get home. And I'm like, it's getting warmer out now, so now we can play vocabulary hopscotch. Now, vocabulary hopscotch is something that we made up. And all you do is take some sidewalk chalk and go out on the sidewalk, and you make the hopscotch squares, except for you do it with all the letters of the alphabet. And you do it in like one large area. So one large area. And you can make a small version of it that you can play with rocks, but we do the larger version, so she has to jump from letter to letter. And so all you do is put up a large, like, A, B, C, D, and then you just go down the line. And then she has to jump to the letter of what the vocabulary word is. So if she spells out the word rake, she has to jump to R, then A, K, then E, and then enter. It's kind of like a computer. And it really helps her. So, like, if, you have a child that hates spelling words and having to do spelling, whatever, try hopscotch, vocabulary hopscotch. That's something we found works really good. So she's doing good. She has started reading when she gets home. And we do our vocabulary hopscotch. And I almost cried the other day because we were in the middle of hopscotch and I felt something fall on my face. And I thought that she had spit on me. And I was like, ma'am, why you spit? Because she was laughing. Like, she was laughing at the fact that she, like, couldn't get to the one letter because her leg. She's like, Mama, I can't get from the S to the C. My legs are too little. Look at these green beans, Mom. I can't possibly jump that far. And I'm like, Lord. And so she starts laughing and she's like cracking up. And I feel something like wet hit my face. And I was like, stop spitting on it. Say it, don't spray it. And she's like, but Mom, I didn't spit. I'm like, yeah, you did. You just did it again. Y'all, it started raining. It started raining. I was like, wait, hold up. Is this rain? I almost forget what it's like when it rains because it doesn't rain here often. And I miss the rain. It's one of the few things I miss about living in the East Coast is the rain. We don't, like I said, we don't get it here often. When it's supposed to rain here, it snows. So I really miss the rain. So it was nice that it rained that day. Wasn't so nice for our vocabulary board, but like, it is what it is. So she's doing good. Except for I'm still having issues with her leaving things out. And I'm going to explain to you why this is an issue. Now, I will give you a heads up. This whip and chat is not going to be super long today. I can't do an hour. We just got finished with the internet folks, which is the story I'm about to go into now. So buckle up because it's quite a ride. So last night I contacted the internet folks. And this pans into the story of why we're still having issues with Maggie leaving stuff out. So, follow along. So last night I contacted the internet folks because we've been experiencing an issue with our internet where it will literally just start having rolling blackouts. Randomly, the internet will cut out and then come back on for no absolute reason. And so I'm like, okay, why is it doing this? And at first we just ignored it. Thought it was a one-off, thought it was just a bad day, solar, whatever. Mr. Coffee said solar candles or some crap. And we just ignored it and just let it be. after day 5, I finally contact them and tell them, because if you remember last week, I told you guys that during that, like right after the lockdown with Maggie, the internet folks came and changed the internet out, which if you missed that whip and chat, it'll be up in the eye in the top right corner. And so the guy replaced the boxes and goes, there it goes. It should work fine now. And then that night, we still had the same issue. So I contact them yesterday and I'm like, hi, I need to speak with someone about having like the box outside my house checked or something. And they're like, what do you mean the box outside your house? And I'm like, the hub. I'm like, the problem, we're having rolling blackouts for our internet. And she's like, I'm not showing anything here. Oh, okay. All right. So you're not showing that my internet keeps dropping and going in and out? And she's like, no. All right. So you hate me. Now take it. I knew it wasn't the customer service lady's fault, okay? And just know, if you work customer service, you deserve a gold medal, because the way I could not. I could never. Nope, not again. Not in my current mental state, no. Customer service is not for me. So this lady is like, telling me that I'm not using the internet correctly and I need to restart and reboot the internet, and that's not how you do it. You do it like this, and I'm going to remote restart it. And I'm trying to tell this lady, I live here, okay? I don't care what your computer system says. My internet keeps cutting out. And she's like, well, the only thing I can think of is to have a technician come to your house. Now take it. I don't like people in my house especially when I'm by myself. I do not like people being in the house, okay? Especially when it comes to maintenance and stuff like that. Even my complex where we live, the cul-de-sac where we live, even they will send somebody in with the maintenance guy, okay? So I asked her, could you please send 2 techs out? I don't want just one because I'm a female by myself. Now, where I can and will defend myself if something were to happen, I still don't like the idea of being alone in a house with a male, okay? I don't trust men. They have complexes that don't allow them to understand the word no sometimes. So I don't like being in the house alone with males, okay? Plus past trauma, we don't need to talk about it. So, and no, it's not what you're thinking. So I'm like sitting there and I'm like, okay. And the lady goes, I don't know if we can accommodate that on such short notice. And I'm like, you're either going to have to accommodate it or they're going to waste their time coming here because I'm not going to let them in. And so they were able to accommodate it, thank God. But I go back and forth with this lady all night about how, crappy the internet service is, and how my neighbors have been also complaining that their services have been garbage and that maybe it's not us, it's them. And she kept saying, no, it's user error. Who doesn't know how to use Wi-Fi? Who doesn't know how to use, what do you mean user error? She's like, it's user error. No, it's not. It's your internet sucks. So she goes, I'm going to send out a tech. And I was like, fine. So she sends out 2 texts this morning. Now, Maggie had been playing last night and she didn't put some of her toys away. And before I went to bed, I didn't put them away either because Maggie's at an age now where she needs to start learning how to clean up after herself. So if she leaves a mess out, I will leave it there till the next morning and then just have her clean it up. So I'm sitting there and Maggie had left out a couple of her toys. And if you know Maggie, this is going to make complete sense to you. If you don't know Maggie, Maggie is my 11-year-old. We loves her. She's also very feral and she loves being outside. She doesn't like being cooped up. And so Maggie had left some toys out from the night before. And I didn't think anything of it because I'm so used to her doing it that I was like, oh man, I just forgot to, have her clean that up. So I'm going to have her clean that up when she gets home. So I'm sitting there and the people show up, and shortly after they show up, Mr. Coffee shows up. Now, Mr. Coffee, typically will come home whenever something like this happens because he knows I'm uncomfortable with having another male in the house. So he somehow knew that the maintenance people were coming, or the internet people were coming. I didn't tell him, but he somehow knew, and he showed up right like soon after they showed up. I was like, oh, thank God. So he's, talking with them. And the guy walks into the kitchen. He's like, oh, my God. And I was like, what the So I jump up and I run into the kitchen. I'm like, what's wrong? And I'm thinking, okay, did one of the dogs slip out of their cage and walk past us? Or like, why is he yelling? Like, what reason would he have to yell? Y'all, Maggie left. This morning, she was playing with something on the table, and I didn't see what it was, and I didn't pay attention, right? And all morning this morning, I took a shower. I got stuff ready for my day. I was going to record my whip and chat and all this other stuff. And then, like, it took longer than expected for the internet guys to check on everything to make sure everything was working properly. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like freaking out because I'm like, what did he see that made him scream like that? Like, this guy, like, legit I'm pretty much if somebody was standing next to him, he would have jumped into their arms. He screeched, okay? He screeched. And I'm like, what the hell? So if you know Maggie, again, this is going to make complete sense to you. Maggie loves spiders, okay? Little spoopers, if you will. That's what she calls them, her little spoopers. Maggie got a gift card from someone, and Maggie decided that she wanted spoopers from Walmart. They had this little baggie full of plastic spoopers, and she wanted them because I won't let her have a tarantula. So she wanted the plastic spoopers, and I was like, all right, bet. So I buy her the plastic spoopers, and I haven't seen it in about a week. Here, she left one on the table. Y'all, when I tell y'all these things look lifelike, that guy, I'm pretty sure he turned his white pants brown, okay? Let's just say it like that. I'm pretty sure he turned his white pants brown because the way that man had looked pale in the face, and I seen him standing there frozen. And I was like, what is wrong with this guy? What is he looking at? And I look at the table and see it, and I was like, oh, God dang it, Maggie. I'm like, I'm so sorry. My daughter left that on the table, and I went over and touched it. Part of me was praying that it was fake. So I just go over and touch it, and it doesn't move, and I was like, oh, thank God. And I was like, it's fake. It's fake. It's not real. I do apologize. My daughter loves spiders. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so afraid of spiders. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So I grabbed it up, and I kind of threw it. Didn't think anything of it. Remember that spider, okay? So he goes outside, he's checking things, and Mr. Coffee's talking to the other tech, and the other tech is saying stuff. This guy is saying stuff in nerd terms, and I have no clue what's going on. It's literally not even going into my ear. I hear him talking. I can't understand a word he's saying. Something about kilobyte, megabyte, byte. I don't know what he was saying. Luckily, Mr. Coffee is smart and knows about this type of stuff because we're just trying to figure out why our internet keeps rolling. And the guy's talking about one of our routers and all this, and you need to get a new router, or you need to get this, or you need to get that. And I'm like, I'm not buying anything else for this goddamn old house, okay? I'm not doing it. We finally finalized some of the plans to go see Minna. We have our hotel room booked. We know exactly where she's graduating from. We do have to buy Maggie and Orion dress clothes because we don't really go anywhere that's dressy. And I just realized that my kids don't have dress clothes. So we got to buy like Orion like a little, a white shirt and black slacks and some nice shoes. He could probably just wear his Jordans, to be honest. And then Maggie's need like a little dress and some hair bows and stuff. So, make them real cute. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not buying anything else for this house. I'm not buying another router. Like those things are like $200. Like I'm not doing it. And so the guy's like, we would need to get down into your crawl space because we have a crawl space in our house. And he's like, we need to get down into your crawl space to see if everything looks good down there for your internet. And I was like, okay. Now, the problem with this is there's a table in the ferret's cage, which the ferret's cage is 8 feet tall. Okay, just know that. It's on wheels, but it's 8 feet tall. But it's on wheels, so it can be rolled around. So I reach in the ferret cage, grab their water out, close the cage up, and just kind of gently move the cage out of the way of the crawl space. I unplug Mr. Coffee's PlayStation and move the table that's next to it away from the crawl space so the guy can get into the crawl space. I didn't look behind the ferret's cage. Remember, they're ferrets. They steal stuff. They have stashes. Well, The other maintenance guy found another one of the stashes, because as he goes to get on all fours to look down into the crawl space, he was met by a little yellow and black plastic spider, or not spider, but a plastic snake. When I tell you that guy fell down that hole quicker than I've ever seen anyone move. He was like, oh my God! He pretty much like swan dived into the crawl space. Don't worry, it's not like, you know, it's a thing of stairs. So he like just kind of hit the stairs, and I don't know if he rolled down or what, because I was sitting there like, what now? What now? What? So I go into because I was still standing, at this point, I was still standing by the back door where the guy was checking the internet outside, because he had went past the kitchen table, that's where the spider was. This guy was in our living room, and he was going down the crawl space that's, you know, on the wall there. So he like swan dives into the thing. He goes, you got a snake in your house. And I was like, what? Mr. Coffee goes over and goes, where? He goes, behind the thing over here. And I'm like, I'm like, you know, peeking around the corner because I want to see this snake. I'm like, where the hell does snake come from? We don't get those a whole lot in North Dakota, at least not in the house. Like, they be outside in the fields and stuff, but we don't typically get them in the house. Like, what? Mr. Coffee goes over and goes, oh, it's not real, dude. And Mr. Coffee is very monotone, by the way. That's just how he was. Whatever. And the guy goes, that thing looks real. For some reason, when people buy, mostly my mom, I think my stepmom secretly hates me. Not really secretly, she's outlandishly hates me. Because she bought Maggie a bunch of stuff like plastic spiders, plastic snakes, plastic lizards. Maggie loves stuff like that. And my mom loves buying it for her because she hates my life. So apparently at some point, one of the ferrets, we're going to guess Anna, had taken one of Maggie's plastic snakes and took it and put it under the cage in her stash. So when I moved the cage, I didn't look. And so there lied the fake snake. So the guy thought it was a real baby snake. And I was like, no, it's fake. So I go over, grab it, pick it up, put it on the table, or on the table where Mr. Coffee's PlayStation is, right? So then the other guy comes in, and he goes, I heard yelling, is everything okay? And the guy goes, dude, there was a plastic and snake that looked real. And he goes, dude, I know. There was a plastic spider on the table. It got me, too. Yo, these men were going through it, okay? So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to clean up some of the stash that, you know, Anna had behind the cage here. Guess what I found? My key card. Now, the key card got deactivated because once you lose one, you want to immediately call the office and have them deactivate it because you don't want somebody to get a hold of it to get into your house. So I called the very next day and had the key deactivated. So I wasn't worried about anybody breaking in using it, but I couldn't find it. And I never would have thought to look under the ferret cage, like not just under and behind, because it blended in with the wall because of how it was sitting. So I was like, oh, forget this. So I keep cleaning up the stuff. And Mr. Coffee's like, what's up with her leaving her toys around all of a sudden? Like, she needs to come home and, like, clean this stuff up. I'm like, I will have her clean it when she gets home. Don't worry about that part. So the guys are, you know, cleaning up stuff, or they're, like, looking at stuff, and they're, like, the one guy's, like, peering around the corner just to make sure nothing else pops out at him. And I'm like, you should be fine. So then they come back to the craft room here, and I'm explaining to them, like, you know, because they were asking about my setup and how many computers do I have back here, because they see 4 screens. So I have my laptop screen, my PC screen, and then 2 extra screens on top of that. And that's usually for when I stream and stuff. The PC is for when I play video games, but the other 3 screens and my laptop are for when I stream. So I'm explaining to them, you know, my setup and everything. And the one guy kind of goes to, like, he bumps into my recliner. Remember, if you remember, like a couple of months ago, I got a recliner for my craft room. Got it off Amazon, highly recommend. Really nice recliner, has a massager in it and all this, like the heated seat and everything. Like, I love it so much. And so the guy bumps into it, and all you hear real loud, honk. I was like, what the was that? That scared me. It scared him and the other guy. Mr. Coffee's like, which one of Maggie's toys is that? Let me guess, the rubber chicken? Now, when we went to the trampoline park, right? When we went to the trampoline park, Maggie had won some tickets. She got the jackpot on one of the games. And the one prize that she picked last was a pink rubber chicken. Well, apparently last night, to remind herself to not sit on the recliner, because the recliner also swivels. So it doesn't sit stationary where you can just sit down and you sit. It moves in a 360 circle. Like you can move it in a 360 circle. So she put it under there to remind herself not to sit there because the ferrets could be underneath there because they like to go underneath furniture. And so she put it there to remind herself not to sit there. Well, when he bumped it hard enough to hit the rubber chicken she had left under there because she never picked it up. Scared the bejesus out of all of us, y'all. Turned my white pants brown, okay? Like, I was scared to death. I was like, what the was that? So finally, after like 2 hours, the guys determined that, we can get a new router. There's a couple of avenues that we can take. We can get this 8-port switch thing, and we can get rid of our pods. And he goes, how is your cable? And I was like, my what? He goes, your cable. I'm like, cable for what? He goes, your cable service. And I was like, my cable service? What's that? I had no clue what he was talking about. Y'all, he was talking about the goddamn TV. He was talking about the goddamn TV. I was like, oh, I don't know. He goes, well, does it, freeze up when you try to watch shows and stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't watch TV. And he's like, wait, what? I was like, I don't watch TV. Nobody in here does. And he goes, y'all don't watch the cable? I'm like, no. He goes, then why do you pay for it? I'm like, because look let me explain how this works, okay? And you guys tell me if this works the same way in your house. 1, sink full of dishes. Everybody in your house is Ray Charles. Nobody sees it. 2, trash is full. Everybody in the house, again, Ray Charles. No one sees it. 3, stuff on the floor. Again, Ray Charles has come to visit because he can't see nothing. 5, when it comes to internet or streaming services, no one could watch it for months. The moment you shut it off, everybody wants to watch it. We had the same thing happen with Netflix. Nobody watched Netflix for 6 months. I turn it off the very same day. Mr. Coffee goes, I was going to watch this show on Netflix, but I forgot you had turned it off. Yes, sir, because we had it for 6 months and no one watched it. We had Disney Plus. No one, again, had watched anything Disney in 6 months. I turn it off. Here come Maggie. I really wish I could watch Encanto. Mommy, can we get Disney back? And I'm like, Lord have mercy. We had Hulu. Nobody watched it. Mom, there's a show I want to watch. Could we get Hulu back? No. No, I'm tired of wasting money on y'all. Y'all get on my nerves. I hate y'all. I don't. I love my family. But for real, I just, Lord have mercy. So when he asked me about the cable, I was like, look, here's the short and sweet of it. If I turn off the cable, someone in this house is going to come to me and go, I wanted to watch a show, but you turned the cable off. I'm like, so I refuse to turn the cable off. And my husband already knows this because I know the moment that I do, someone in the house will all of a sudden need to watch every cable broadcasting show. And I'm like, I'm not about to pay for it. I'm not doing it. You can't make me. So they finally finish up with everything. And the guy goes, so what do you do instead of, watch TV? I'm like, I craft, I draw, I play games. The kids typically are doing kid things. They're playing games or, outside, doing kid stuff outside. And, when they come in the house, they just aren't interested in that. So they'll listen to music. They'll play on their games. Like, nobody's really interested in watching TV shows. Even when I try to get everybody to sit down, like we've been like this for so long, even trying to get the family together to sit down and watch movies, everyone passes out. Everyone passes out. We watched Sonic the Hedgehog 4 times before everybody was able to actually finally finish it because of the fact that everybody just kept falling asleep. So yeah, so after all that whole debacle this morning, I have to make sure that when Maggie gets home that she cleans up her toys. And then amongst all the toys, like the ferret toys and everything else, Killian had found one of his favorite balls. Now, I cannot seem to find this ball anywhere else. and I think I can get it off Amazon. It's these tennis balls. Killian can never have enough tennis balls. I go through so many tennis balls. So if anybody's ever looking for something to get for the dogs, tennis balls. Not the big jumbo ones. The small, regular size tennis balls. You get brownie points if they squeak, okay? So Killian found one of his favorite tennis balls and has been bunny hopping through the house ever since. I literally had to take the tennis ball away from him because I was trying to record videos, but all you can hear in the background is what sounds like someone tap dancing on my hardwood because he's back there bunny hopping, jumping after this ball, okay? He loves tennis balls. The problem is I can't just be out here buying tennis balls all the goddamn all the time. So yeah, he found a tennis ball, so he's super excited. But hopefully the internet is now working. I'm not sure. I'm getting stressed out because we got the first bill from Maggie's appointment for her spacer. $1,468. I was like, ugh, God. Let me start. So immediately I saw that email and went upstairs and started inventorying diamond paintings. So while everybody was enjoying the solar eclipse yesterday, I was trying to inventory diamond paintings because the way I'm about to be out here doing Strange for Change. Also, I guess I probably haven't talked about it here. So we did go back to the dentist the following Tuesday after me and Maggie got locked into the school, which was this past Tuesday. We did go to the dentist's office and the dentist looks at me and goes, you know, Maggie has a couple of teeth that probably need fillings. Orion has a couple of teeth that need to have the fillings put back in because they had fillings, but they were taken out. I guess they fell out, I guess fillings fall out. I don't know about fillings. I've never had a filling before. But, essentially, Orion now also needs braces. Look, listen. I can't, why? And I'm like, look, listen, can his teeth stay crooked until after this trip, okay? Can his teeth stay crooked until after this trip? I will do all the Strange for Change. I will stream 24/7. We will get the money, but can we just wait? Can we hold off until after this trip, okay? Because this trip has me stressed out, okay? And not only that, my dad lets me know that my nephew will be coming to stay with us July 24th. So my nephew will be starting to live with me so he can get on his feet. He's just turning 18. He's the one that's 2 weeks older than Minna. He'll be coming to stay with us for a little bit to get himself, like, you know, adjusted to adulthood. Minna still doesn't know what she wants to do. I'm not going to pressure her to come up here. I did tell her I expect to see her up here once before my birthday. Other than that, she is free to go and come as she pleases because she'll be 18. But don't forget that I am still your mother and I expect to see you before my birthday. So she is, because I know she's going to the beach right after graduation and stuff. And then she let us know that the week before graduation, she's off of school, like they're done with school. And so we plan on leaving out June 1st to get there by June 2nd. Our hotel room is booked and ready to go, so I'm super excited about that. And we found someone that's going to house sit for us. So one of Mr. Coffee's coworkers that we know well, we were talking about getting a house sitter because to board the ferrets, it would be $15 a day per cage. They have 3 cages that connects into one, and I'm not sure if they would do $15 per 3 hookups, because their cage literally comes apart into 3 pieces, and then you just stack it like Legos back on top of each other. And so I'm not sure if she would charge us per unit or like the whole cage. Because if it's just the whole cage, that's just $15 for a week. The dogs, on the other hand, are $43 a night per dog. And so I was like, where this isn't that expensive, it's still a little expensive. And I was like, I wish we knew somebody well enough that they could come in and sit and, you know, stay with the dogs. And then I remembered he has a coworker at work that works with him, like right with him, that doesn't have children. He's just engaged, but his fiance is one of the teachers around here. And I was like, she ain't got no job over the summer. What's she doing? I said it as a joke, and she offered to take and house sit for us. So they're going to stay here and watch over the pets for us. And I'm like, say word. So we just saved money there. We are going to, of course, pay them. But I don't have to pay the outlandish amount of money I was going to pay for the boarders and shots. Then making sure that which the dogs are up to date on their shots. They would just need their kennel cough. But I'm really finicky about taking and moving the ferrets out of their environment. Ferrets are very much creatures of habit. So to take them out of their environment into a new environment for a week, I feel like it might bother them a little bit. So I didn't want to have to do all that. So luckily now we don't have to. So we're getting things set up for the trip. I'm getting the diamond paintings that I have upstairs organized and inventoried so that we can start doing a D-stash. I will give you a heads up. The D-stash will be happening on my business page on Facebook. So if you're not already following me on Facebook, I am Miss Coffee on Facebook. Now, for as far as I can tell, there's only Diamond Art Clubs and Oraloa diamond paintings. That's it. Like, I don't have any off-brand companies or anything like that in there that I can think of. It's just Diamond Art Club and Oraloa. The kits aren't going to be more than $30 unless they're huge kits, and then they'll be $40. And then you'll have to pay shipping. So just a heads up there, you now know the price of what the kits are going to cost. You just have to worry about getting it shipped from North Dakota to your house. So like I said, each kit is going to be, unless it's over, let's say 70. If it's over 70 centimeters, I'll probably do $40 because of the fact of how much paper and tape and everything else it's going to cost and the weight. But if it's a normal like 50 by 70 or whatever, that will be $30. So it's going to be, and do keep in mind that when we do de-stash these, that it does void the warranty. So if you have any issues, if like drills are missing or what have you, you will be responsible for making sure to get the drills and stuff for that. So that is where we're at right now with the de-stash. I'm getting everything inventoried. It's a lot, and I'm getting very overwhelmed. There's a lot of stuff happening in the coffee house right now that's preventing me from being able to just sit down and do it all in one go. So I do apologize for the delay, but it will be happening over on my Miss Coffee page on Facebook. So if you haven't already followed that page, please, please, please follow that page. Within the next week or so, I'm going to give a definitive date as to when this is going to happen. I typically start first thing in the morning. It will be a Monday. I will give you a heads up. It will be a Monday. And because that's the day I typically have off of streaming on Twitch. So it will be a Monday, and I will be making sure to let you guys know in plenty of advance over on that page that I will be doing the D-stash coming up in like a week or two. So get ready for that. So yeah, the kits are going to be like $30. If you've seen me unboxing diamond paintings, you could probably guess which ones are getting D-stashed and which ones aren't. So feel free to go back and watch a few unboxings, write down the ones that you're interested in. I've had a few people message me to ask me if I have particular kits, and I can tell them yes or no. But some of the kits were donated by a lovely, lovely subscriber. So I thank you to the lovely subscriber that donated the kits. I really appreciate it. That's gonna come in a big way to help us get there. So yeah, so we're slowly moving and grooving over here. We're slowly moving and grooving over here. Sorry, I had something come through here that wasn't supposed to. What was that? That was this. When you go to cross stitch and like another thread comes through. It looks like it's tangled. But that is probably where I should probably end it, because I do have to get going here because the kids are going to be getting off the bus soon. This was a later whipping chat because of the fact that the cable guys and stuff came. So I do appreciate you coming by and checking on us here at the coffee house. Everybody's doing so well, and I hope you are too. Make sure you're drinking your water and taking your meds. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. You can always catch us over on Twitch if you would like to see more content from me. That is where I live stream 4 to 5 days out of the week. Today is a bonus stream. We're going to be playing Palia, so feel free to come over with your craft projects and chill with us while we play the games and just chit-chat a little bit. So until next time, you guys stay safe. I will see you when I see you, and I hope you always remember to be kind to others, because you never know what somebody else is going through. Be courteous because it's the right thing to do, and always stay cool. So whether I see you on YouTube land or I see you here, or whether I see you in YouTube land or I see you in Twitch, either way, I'll see you when I see you. Bye, guys.